Namaste, my dear grade 9 students. How are you doing? I hope you are having a wonderful times there. I'm too. This is again a new day, new lesson with, yes, some excitement. So, what are we going to discuss today? Can you guess? Yes, you have already got to know what we are going to discuss today. But before that, let me just recap what we discussed in our previous class. Well, we discussed on the Unit 4, listening, pronunciation, and also the writing tasks. I hope you have done all those tasks. So for today, we are going to discuss the reading 2 under the very Unit 4. Yes, my dear students, I hope you are all ready with your textbook, notebook, pen or pencil. Are you ready? Very good. So, let's begin with, let's say, the topic. What can you see over there? Very good. You can see the title of the poem, Crossing the Bar, right, by Alfred Lord Tennyson. This is what we are going to discuss in our class today. Now, what do you need as we are going to read poetry? I hope you're ready with this material. Of course, your notebook, pen, and as we are going to read the poetry, imagination, right? This is what we need. We need to imagine. We need to interpret the ideas from our own perspective, freely, openly, without any hesitation. So, imagination is must for our class. Yes, all of you are ready. So, what will we cover today in our class? Let's just highlight the things that we are going to cover in our session today. So, look, we are beginning with a poem, Crossing the Bar, okay? And then we'll talk about the rhyming scheme used in the poem. And then, of course, we do discuss some vocabulary building exercises. And after that, we'll discuss the comprehension text based on the reading poem. Very good. So, dear students, before we read the poem, now let us talk a bit about the poet. Who is he? Can you guess? Is he a Nepali poet? Okay, with the gestures, you might have already guessed that he is not a Nepali poet. Okay, so let's see. He is a very famous English poet, Alfred Lord Tennyson, who was born in August of 1809 in England. So, Alfred Lord Tennyson is a famous English poet from England, UK. Very good. And what about his literary works? The students, Tennyson published his masterpiece, In Memoriam, AHH, in 1850, one of his beloved friends, okay? So he wrote this famous literary work, okay? He published this one. This is what we call his masterpiece, okay? The best one that he has created so far in his literary journey. Yes, dear students, so he was also named Poet Laureate after William Wordsworth, okay? This is a little extra information about him. So he is also named as Laureate after William Wordsworth. And Alfred Tennyson, he died at the age of 83 in October of 1892. This is a very short glimpse about the poet Alfred Lord Tennyson. Yes, you also can see, right, one extra information, that is one of the most popular poets of the Victorian era in England, right? So, dear students, before we begin reading the poem. So let's just look at the picture below and answer the questions. Right. Let us just see what does the picture show. Dear students, can you guess what moment is it? What time is it? Is it in the morning time or the evening time? You can just guess. Okay, looking at the light in the picture, so what can you guess? Very good. Of course, it seems to be the evening time, right? You can see the evening light over there, so it's evening time. And what else can you see over there? Great, you can see the ship in the sea, right? Okay, this is what you can see in the picture. Now, can you guess where is the pilot leading the voyagers? Do you know what is voyagers? Very good. Of course, who, yes, travel in the train? Of course, passengers, travelers, right? So where is the pilot leading, taking them to? Of course, good answer, okay? So the pilot, okay, yeah, he is taking them to some destination, right? Yeah, so there is not mentioned over there. You can simply guess where are they heading to, okay? So you can say the pilot is leading them to some destination, somewhere else. Very good. Yes, dear students. Now, before we begin reading the poem, we are going to listen and watch a short video, and after watching this, all of we have to module together. We'll do modulation together. Now, let us listen once, okay? Watch together how the, let's say, this audio or video is played. Let's see.
Sunset and evening star, and one clear call for me, and may there be no moaning of the bar when I put out to sea. But such a tide as moving seems asleep, too full for sound and foam, when that which drew from out the boundless deep turns again home. Twilight and evening bell, and after that the dark. And may there be no sadness of farewell when I embark. For though from out our bourne of time and place the flood may bear me far, I hope to see my pilot face to face when I have crossed the bar.
Yes, my dear students, you have gone through the recitation of this poem, okay? Now, what we are going to do is, we are going to recite together the poem as we just heard now. So, are you all ready for that? Very good. So now, let's recite together. Okay, here we go. Sunset and evening star, and one clear call for me, and may there be no moaning of the bar when I put out to sea. But such a tide as moving seems asleep, too full for sound and foam, when that which drew from out the boundless deep turns again home to light and evening bell, and after that the dark. And may there be no sadness of farewell when I embark. For though from out our bone of time and flesh, the float may bear me far, I hope to see my pilot face to face when I have crossed the bar. My dear students, I hope you have done very well. You have recited the poem together with me. Right. Now, let us just look at some of the highlighted words given in the poem that you have seen in the old stanza there, right? So, I'll show you. You can simply guess a bit in the first stanza, the highlighted words. And may there be no moaning of the bar when I put out to sea. So can you simply guess what does the word moaning mean? Okay, the word you can see over there, moaning, okay? You can see the word moaning. What does it mean? May there be no moaning of the bar. Yeah, you might have guessed, okay? The meaning of this word is very good. This is complaining, right? There is no complaining of the bar. Okay, you can see that in the very first stanza. Okay, now let's move on to the another word, dear students. So, what is the next word there? Good. You can see the word foam. So, what does the foam mean? You might have guessed. Okay, too full for sound and foam. You might have seen somewhere while you are crossing the river, you know. Yes, that is what we call foam. So this is very good. This is the bubble of liquid water. Okay, you might have seen somewhere, yes, in the surface of water. That is what we call foam. You also can say fizz, pani ko fizz, bubble हामी देख्छौं नि. That is what we call foam. Very good, dear students. Now another word, yes, in the very second stanza, so you can see the word boundless. Okay, so what does the word boundless mean? You can simply guess. When that which drew from out the boundless deep, what does it mean? Very good. Yes, it means unlimited. Okay, boundless means unlimited. This is the right meaning of the word. Very good. Now let's look at another word. So you can see the word there, twilight. So twilight and evening bell. So what does it mean? What kind of light? Very good. It means evening light. Okay, during the evening time you might have experienced, okay, what kinds of light? A little dusk during the docks, okay, you can see a little dim. So that light is what we call twilight, evening light. You can see in the picture. Right, very good. Okay, what is the next word? The next word for you is farewell. So what is farewell? Very good. Okay, and may there be no sadness of farewell. So you can see here, that means goodbye. Goodbye, okay, is what we call farewell. And the next word that you can see over there, yes, that word is embark. What does that mean? You can see the word embark. That means, very good, it means go on a bird, is what we call embark. Yes, dear students, one more word for you. I just would like to tell you. Oh, for though from out our burn of time and flesh. So what does that mean? What does that burn means? Very good. That means perfect. That means boundary. Okay, boundary. This is what we can find there. And you might have other confusions, like the word, like, let's say, this is the literary use, you know, the classical use of the words. You can see though, that means though. Okay, you can simply use though, T-H-O-U-G-S, though. And the last word you can see, when I have crossed. Okay, simply this is the word crossed. Okay, C-R-O-S-S-E-D, crossed, when I have crossed the bar. Okay, yeah. Now I just would like to show you as we just discussed, these words and meanings with some of the pictures as well. So let's just see the first word as we just see. Right, moaning is what we call. Very good. This is a little revision for you. Complaining. And foam? Good. That means a bubble of liquid water. And yeah, you can see there in the picture, right? That is the what? Bubble of water, okay, foam. And let's look at the another one. You can see the word, yes, boundless. This is unlimited, okay? And the next word, as we see, twilight. That is evening light. So, yeah, look at this. This light is what we call twilight. And let's look at the another word, that is farewell. Okay, what does it mean? Goodbye. Okay, farewell. Yes, you can see there, goodbye. Okay, very good. Next word, let's see, embark. Go on a board is what we call embark. And yes, that was already said, so though. And the next word, burn, means, look, the word burn, a boundary. Okay, let's see. Yes, what is this in the picture? Very good. That is a boundary, wall, okay? Yes, from where we cannot cross. That is called burn, a boundary. And the last word is crossed, so you can say, very good, that is to cross. Thank you, my dear students. I hope you are pretty clear about the words given in the poem stanza. Right, so now let's look at some rhyming scheme in the poem, everybody. So the poem, it consists of 4 quatrains. That means the stanza rhyming A, B, A, V. The first and third lines of each stanza are always couple of beats longer than the second and the fourth lines, and although the line length vary among the stanza. So how does it rhyme each other? Let's just see here in the first and second stanza. Sunset and evening star. Okay, and you can see it rhymes with the third line, and may there be no moaning of the bar. You can see this star and bar rhymes each other, right? And similarly, the second line and fourth line rhymes each other, like look at here, and one clear call for me when I put out to sea. Right, very good. You also can see in the second stanza here, so in the very first line of the second stanza, you can see place, and it resembles with third line, that is face. Similarly, you can see here in the second line, far, okay? The flood may bear me far, and you can see when I have crossed the bar. So that bar and far is the rhyming words. Perfect. I guess you are pretty clear about the rhyming pattern given in the poem. Very good. Dear students, now let us talk a bit about the poem, okay? As we have just gone through the poem, we have done modulation as well. Now, what is there in the poem? Let us just discuss a bit. Yes, Crossing the Bar is a poem by the British Victorian poet Alfred Lord Tennyson. The poem was written in 1889, 3 years before his death when he was 80 years old. His condition made him ponder over life and death, at that age, at the age of 80. So he thought about his life, what this life is actually. And it is also considered to be a metaphorical meditation on death, This poem is a kind of metaphorical meditation on death, which sees the speaker comparing dying or a certain way of dying, to gently crossing the sandbar between a coastal area and the wider sea ocean, right? In essence, let's see, it is a poem that argues that death is in fact a kind of comfort, okay? A point of view based on the speaker's religious faith in the afterlife. There is no, let's say, fear, no terror in the name of death. The poet is happy, ready to face the death, okay? Accordingly, the speaker wants to die quietly and gently without fear, measured by the knowledge that what comes next is meeting with God. See? Just before his death, So now he is happy in the sense that he is ready to meet the Creator, the God, okay? So, Crossing the Bar was written shortly before Tennyson's own death and is the poem that Tennyson wanted to be placed at the end of all future collection and edition of his poetry. Yes, my dear students, this is what I just told you. Yes, what this poem is about, a little reflection. Now, let's just see the summary, okay, the idea that is expressed in the poem. Okay, so now let's see. The poem is about the approaching, okay, death of a human. Okay, death is approaching, coming very near, and the poet initiates the poem by narrating about the setting sun and the evening star. You can see this is what you can find in the very first stanza there in the first line. Okay, the setting sun and the evening star. He feels that someone is calling him, right? He is alert that someone has already given the call. And then it implies that he is thinking about his demise, okay? The poet, the speaker, the narrator, okay? So he implies that he is thinking about his demise, death. He wonders about the sea and his journey, dear students, okay? He let's say, does not want to hear the mournful noise of the sea. Look at these students, okay? When he's traveling, he doesn't want to hear the mournful noise of the sea. He wishes that the sea was blotted, swollen, okay, and unable to produce any sound. Yes, he wants to go to somewhere else peacefully, happily. All right, there is no any disturbance at all. Okay, and the speaker, he announces that the time for his departure has arrived as the day has turned dark. You can simply see, the day has turned dark means the life has turned into, of course, death, okay, departure. And the day has turned dark. He doesn't want his farewell to be sad. There is no any, let's say, fear, terror, okay. He doesn't want to make his farewell any sad. He is only thinking about what he will find once he reaches his destination by crossing the bar. He hopes to meet the pilot there. By pilot, the poet implies his expected meeting with God. Okay? Yes, this is what we can find the idea in the poem, the students. Yes, I hope you are pretty clear what the poem is about. So after this discussion, I hope now you are clear about the poem, and we move to the exercise part, let's say, of the poem. Let's see what we are going to do firstly. Yes, we are going to match the words in column A with their meaning in column B. Okay, these words, we have already discussed. So now, let's just see. What does the word morning mean? Can you guess? Morning. Look at a boundary limit, though, a complaining, crossed, whatever, you might have guessed. Look at boundless, to light, embark. Look at though, brown, crossed. You are familiar. Please make your educated guess before we see the answer. Okay, have you made educated guess? Very good. Now let's see what you have done so far. Okay, you might have guessed correctly. So let's see the first word, morning. What does that mean? Very good. You might have made it correct. Complaining, right? Next word, boundless. That means never ending, okay? Infinite, okay? That is boundless. Another word, to light. What does that word mean? Very good. That means dusk. What about the next? Embark is what we discussed, that is go on a boat. Though means, yes, though, okay? And the next word you can see, burn. That means a boundary or a limit. And the last word, that is cross, that means, yes, as we discussed, okay, crossed. Perfect, dear students. You have done very well, okay. These are the words with column A and column B, words with their meaning. Very good. Now let us look at the another exercise. What's there? You have to fill in the gaps with the words or phrases given below to complete the paragraph of the paraphrase of the poem. Okay, this is the paraphrasing, I mean the summary, okay, or the main idea of the poem. So you can see the words and phrases. The sandbar written, the evening bell floating, the sunset and evening star on the tides, sad goodbyes and God. So these words and phrases goes in the blanks. Can you make your guess first? Okay, you might guess first few time, very short time, and then we'll discuss about the correct answer. Okay, yeah, are you making your guess? Very good. Let's see now what might be the correct answer there. Okay, I notice what might be the right answer there. Perfect. I notice the sunset and evening star in the sky and hear a sound calling for me loud and clear. I hope that, okay, what is the next word? Yes, the sandbar will not be disturbed when I go out to sea. Instead, I want to be carried out, okay, on a tide. Moving too slowly, it seems almost asleep, and which is too swollen to make a sound. That's what I want when I, okay, yes, good, when I return home to the depth of the great unknown. Twilight comes with, yes, the evening veil, which will be followed by darkness. There don't need to be any what? Sad goodbyes when I go. Even though I'll be going far from this time and place, let's see, floating on the tide of death, I hope to meet whom? Very good, God, who has been like my pilot on this journey when I had met it across the bar. Perfect. Thank you so very much for your perfect guess. Now, yes, my dear students, we have another talks, that is answer the questions, okay, very short questions answer. Let's begin with the number A. Where does the speaker have to go crossing the sandbar? Okay, can you guess where does the speaker have to go crossing the bar? Okay, you are pretty sure about where the speaker, yes, have to go crossing the bar. Okay, you might guess from the very stanza. What you can see, for though from out our bourne of time and place, the flood may bear me far, I hope to see my pilot face to face when I have crossed the bar. Where? Yes, let's see. Okay, you can just read there, the idea, The poet says that the journey will take him away from the limitations of the world, and then only he will be able to see his pilot, or the one who has brought him in the world and is taking him back to his original home. Yes, my dear students, so crossing the bar, the narrator, okay, so he has to go to the, very good, where? Yes, the speaker has to go to the another world, crossing the sandbar after his death. Is your guess correct? Perfect. Let's look at the number B. Why can't the tide make a huge sound or create a ladder? Come on, dear students, why can't the tide make huge sound, okay, or create a ladder? Okay, let's just find these things in the poem. You can see there in the very first line, but such a tide as moving seems asleep. Okay, but such tide as moving seems asleep, too full for sound and form. You can just guess from there. Okay, so why can't the tide make sound, huge sound? Let's see. You can just find this information. The poet says the tide which was full of might is moving now in such a way that it seems to be quiet and weak. So it cannot make any sounds at all, right? So you can write simply there, because the speaker wishes his soul's journey to be very calm and quiet after his death. You can just, express your ideas, interpret your ideas from the very stranger. Yes. Move on to number C. So what do the twilight and the evening bell suggest in the poem? Yes, my dear students, you have already, got to know what does it signify or symbolize, okay, or suggest. Yeah, you might have already guessed. So look at this stanza. Twilight and evening bell, right? So what does it suggest in the poem? Yeah, you're pretty clear, okay? The poet uses different images to depict the same ideas described in the first stanza. He says that it is evening now and the evening bell has rung. That means after this it would be dark. In a deeper sense, his end is near. Now he will die. Okay, you simply can find what does that twilight or the evening bell mean. Yes, so you can see the twilight and evening bell. It suggests the last moment of the speaker's life and the death. You can simply say, okay, this is the last moment of the life or the death. So a sound which reminds him, yes, of, let's say, upcoming death. This is what you can simply find. What does that, okay, twilight and evening bell mean. Very good. Look at number D. Number D, you can see where is the speaker going without accepting sad goodbyes. So where is the speaker going? Is he going his home? Okay, yes, might be his original home, right? So you can just guess, dear students. So yeah, you can see there, this stanza again, twilight and evening bell, the first, stanza. And from here, you can simply, yes, guess. All right, you can just find over there. After this, it would be dark, and in a deeper sense, his end is near. Now he will die. So he's going to another world. Where is that another world? Yes, okay, if we trust, believe, okay, heaven, okay, yeah, this is what you can see. So where is the speaker going? Our question, did you get? Yes, the speaker is going to another world, paradise, heaven, after his death, without accepting goodbyes. Okay, number E. So who is the only agent that helps the speaker to go far on his journey? Who is the only agent? Can you guess, my dear students? Look at there. I hope to see my pilot face to face. Who is that pilot? When I have crossed the bar, okay, who is that agent? Okay, right, you can see. Yeah, look at there, his pilot. That means the God who has brought him in the world and is taking him back to his original home. Right, so now you can guess who is the only agent. Very good. His pilot or God is the only agent that helps the speaker to go far on his journey. Right, very good. And last but not the least, let's see, number F. Does the speaker fear death? Why or why not? Is he afraid of death? Is he terrified? Let's see. You can just see this line and one clear call for me, okay? You can just see, right? So the speaker, the narrator is a lot about his demise. Look, the poet says that he has clearly heard a call and thus it is the time for him to leave the place. He accepts the reality, right? So simply, no, the speaker does not fear death because he is aware of his end time and he welcomes his death in his state. Yes, my dear students, I hope you are pretty clear the poem Crossing the Bar. You have done all these tasks, fill in the blanks, matching, questions, answers, everything. So, oh, there is one more. Okay, yes, please, what does the poet, yes, pilot symbolize? Let's just see. Okay, I hope to see my pilot face to face when I have crossed the bar. So you can see there his pilot, that means the guard. Okay, so you are pretty clear. The pilot, it symbolizes the God who will guide the speaker to reach his final destination, that is heaven, right? Okay, dear students, yes, having discussed about these all things about the poem, now yes, I recalled one of the a famous personality. Okay, Steve Jobs. You know Steve Jobs very well. Okay, the founder of Apple, right? Look at, let's just talk about him, what he says, you know. Let me just read out for you. Remembering that I will be dead soon is the most important tool I have ever encountered to help me make the big choices in life, because almost everything, all external expectations, all pride, all fear of embarrassment or failure, these things just fall away in the face of death, leaving only what is truly important. Remembering that you are going to die is the best way, I know, to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose. You are already naked. There is no reason not to follow your heart, by Steve Jobs. Dear students, if we are really sure about, about our death, then there is no reasons to be afraid of, to be terrified of anything else. A great statement. I guess you have learned something. So with this, I guess we have come to the end of our class. But before we wrap up our class, let me assign you some of the tasks, dear students, given in your textbook. What is said? Please, the last line. Do you believe in life after death? Okay, this is a controversial issue, okay? Whether the life exists after death or not. You can discuss, you can ask your seniors, your friends, everyone, okay? And then you can make up your idea. There is given some rationale. Let me just share you these two rationale, okay? A little contrastive. First one, I believe that our physical bodies die, but our soul self never dies. So, if that is considered life, I believe we'll be aware of ourselves after our physical death. One kind of, let's say, belief. And another one says, no, because life is something that happens in a body. Does awareness and the mind persist after the body is finished? Sure. But it is not alive because it is not in a body. So these are some rationales, my dear students. You do have your own. Try to elaborate your idea, and we will discuss maybe in the next sessions. Thank you so very much for your active participation. I hope you have better understood. So we'll be meeting in the next lesson. Namaste. Goodbye.